Welcome to the Guitar Daily Workout, Book 8. I don't need to give you much introduction on this book. If you've been through the previous 7 books, you sort of know what to expect. But of course, in the first 4 books, we covered the really core foundations of what a guitar player really needs, the vital foundations of your major scales, your pentatonic scales, and all of your vital arpeggios. Books 5 through 8 dealt with the intermediate topics, which really get you a mastery of the guitar neck in some real ways. Most players could go through just the first 8 books and they would have all the information that they needed to have a successful music career. And then of course 9 through 12, they deal with much more sophisticated vocabularies that you might encounter in jazz or fusion or rock styles like the prog rock or something like that have some more sophisticated harmonic language. Well, Book 8 is the completion of, again, the intermediate series. And in this one, we're going to start off just like we did on all the others with the finger gymnastics, which are sort of non-musical exercises that sync the left and right hand, strengthen you a little bit, and make some challenging things on the guitar that you might need as an improviser. This is really going to be a twist on the very first one that we learned, this 1, 2, 3, 4. But the reality with that one, even though it was an excellent exercise, and for the first book it was a perfect exercise, as we get more sophisticated, we realize that almost never do improvisers use 4 notes per string in pick in that fashion. So this one, we're going to do 4 notes on a string, skip a string, do 4 notes, do 3 notes, 3 notes, 2 notes, and then 1 note, and it's going to sound something like this. And so on. And that'll be a great exercise because it really switches stuff up with your picking hand so that it can make some complex different patterns rather than just a straight pattern all the time. All right, then we're into the meat of what we're going to do. So the first thing that we're going to learn in System 8 is arpeggios all in one position, but it's going to go all across the neck in all of them. So what we're going to do, just to walk you through the idea, what you want to be able to do as a guitar player is you want to be able to have changes where you can actually hear the changes as you're playing through. So when you're soloing, you don't ever want to just be wandering. And people are like, well, I don't know where you're at. I don't know what you're playing. But if you're... you can hear I'm just walking through these changes going up the D major scale. So let me walk you through that really quickly. We're basically going to just go up 1 arpeggio, then into the next arpeggio in the same position. And I'll walk you through this full exercise in the lessons that are following. But you get the idea. So I'm going through all of the arpeggios of the 7th chords all in one position. That way when you're soloing, you're really landing on those target tones of the arpeggios, which really helps your solos to sound melodic. And we're going to do that for all of the forms of the cage system. Then we're going to tie them all together so that you play all of them across the neck. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do is one of the more challenging exercises, I think. In System 5, we had some really challenging exercises. This is also going to be a challenging one. This is going to be a hand burner. If you remember doing that exercise, this is going to be like that, but even worse. It's real life application of big stretches. So what we're going to do is we're going to take 3 on a string pentatonics where the last note always gets doubled. And this is really an important thing to be able to do. You hear guys like Alan Holdsworth and Scott Henderson, Tom Quayle, others like, they do this all the time. This is a really common practice for them. So now the really good thing about this, especially if you have distortion on, is they're really fast. So it's a really quick way to get around on the neck. And it sounds super flashy, but I'm doing mostly legato stuff. And this one, I'm going to go through every position, of the 3 on a string pentatonics. And I'm going to take that all the way up the neck. It's going to really make you learn your pentatonics as well. And you know, it's not that you're going to play those patterns all the time, but you'll be able to do that and achieve those in your improvisation, which is really, you'll see, very advantageous as an improviser. All right, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to take the major and minor hexatonics like we did in System 7, and we're going to put them all across the neck every single day. So you'll start off, you know, if you're starting here in G, then you'll go into the next form, and then the next form. You'll do all 5 forms all the way up the neck, all the way down the neck. And again, I said this in the last video, hexatonic to me is not the most important scale. I think you'd have to say the major scale is the most important scale to know, but it is, to me, the most useful scale. It's the one that I use more than any other for improvising. And we're also going to do the minor hexatonic. And for the same reason, I feel like that's the most important scale that you can learn on the guitar, and the most useful one, I should say, when you're improvising. It sort of hits all the right notes and none of the wrong sounding notes. But you're going to learn how to play that all the way across the neck in all of the positions. And you're going to do that every single day, every single form, up and down the neck. So that's what you're going to expect in System 8. It really should round you out on all of the key improvisational scales that you really need to know from most of the music you're going to encounter in your musical life. And I think you'll find it really useful. So hopefully that helps you.